Hey guys, today we're doing What If Bardock and Gine Survived Part 2. So, last time we went from all the way from even before the start of Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, to the all the way to the Android Saga after everyone's done training. So, Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, and Broly have all unlocked Super Saiyan, and they're all much, Broly not so much, but everyone else is all much stronger than they were at this time in the canon, since Goku, Bardock, and Raditz master Super Saiyan, like how Goku and Gohan did in the later parts of the Cell Saga, like before the Cell games. So it's like that, but earlier, since they're training in the hyperbolic time chamber earlier this time. So Bardock, Kakarot, and Raditz unlock that mastered Super Saiyan 1 form. Broly gets more control under his Akari state. So yeah, also I think I forgot to put this detail in the previous video. Basically, Bardock, Gine, Kakarot, Raditz, and maybe Broly? No, not Broly, but Bardock, Gine, Kakarot, and Raditz all still have their tails. They never cut their tails off. And also they're all wearing Saiyan armor, but very old Saiyan armor that Bardock and Gine brought with them right before Planet Vegeta was destroyed. They brought a lot. So Kakarot basically just looks the exact same as Bardock. He wears the exact same outfit, he looks the exact same, and he's a similar power level, and he does almost all the same moves. He just has no scar on his face, but Bardock does. Besides that, only slight differences in the color palette of his outfit. Otherwise, they look the exact same, and they're near power levels, but Bardock's stronger and no scar on his face for Kakarot. Raditz, he just wears the same outfit he wore when he was first introduced still. So yeah. And Gine looks the same as in Dragon Ball Minus, and Bardock looks the same as in Dragon Ball Minus. So that's all their looks and stuff like that. So they can also go Great Ape because they all still have their tails. So yeah. Moving on. So the 3-year time skip happens. Then it's time to start the Android Saga properly, like with the actual androids attack. And this goes quite differently since, there's only Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, Broly, and Grandpa Gohan, and Roshi, who are the only heroes left on Earth. And Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, and Broly are the only ones who know about this. So yeah, they're the only ones at the city when the attack happens. The androids attack. um, Kakarot starts fighting. He gets his heart virus attack, basically. He's suffering from his heart virus now, like in canon, and Raditz takes Kakarot back home and gives him the heart medicine, and he takes some himself just in case. And now Kakarot's recovering. Now Bardock is fighting Android 19 and 20, Dr. Zero. So he doesn't like give them any chance to escape. He just easily destroys Android 19 and Dr. Zero. So Dr. Zero doesn't have a chance to go to the androids and reactivate them. But he does say that they exist, and this makes Bardock want to destroy them because he heard about all the stuff that happened in Trunks' timeline, and he doesn't want that to happen here. So he goes off to where he thinks Dr. Zero's lab could be, because he was running in that direction, so he just goes there, and he eventually, after a long time of searching, he finds Dr. Zero's lab. He breaks in, and he destroys Android 18 and Android 17, and the entire lab, including the underneath lab that had a growing cell inside. He destroys all of it. So, yeah, and then Cell comes back in time, and by this time Kakarot's already healed up, and they're training again. Also, this time, since there's more stronger fighters, more Saiyans, it's never really needed for Kakarot's child. His name isn't Gohan anymore, so he has a Saiyan name, but it's not needed for him to fight. So Chi-Chi's happier with what Gohan's doing, since he never does fight, he just studies. So there's that. Because he never needed to fight in this, because there's more Saiyans and more strong fighters, because there's stronger Saiyans. But that means when Cell comes back in time, he's still in perfect Cell. So they find him, and they immediately vaporize him. And so the Cell Saga basically is cut short, and time skip until the Buu Saga now. During the time skip, they do unlock Super Saiyan 2, Bardock, Kakarot, and Raditz unlock Super Saiyan 2. But no Super Saiyan 3, since they're not that far ahead, plus it's easier for them to train in the afterlife, but none of them are dead, so they can't unlock Super Saiyan 3 just like that. But it'll be more difficult for them to unlock Super Saiyan 3. So the tournament where Bardock has been the winner of every single World Martial Arts tournament ever since he came to Earth. Hercule never won, so Bardock wins the tournament again, but it's a very close match between Bardock and Kakarot, but Bardock does end up being slightly stronger than Kakarot, and he wins. So yeah, and since the Saiyans, they don't really care about like keeping inconspicuous and stuff, when Kakarot and Bardock uh, defeated, destroyed King Piccolo, when the news and stuff asked who did it, they said Bardock and Kakarot. They said they did it, and they showed up. So now Bardock and Kakarot have been famous ever since. But Bardock's even more famous since he wins every single World Martial Arts tournament. Literally, he's won every single one like a decade in a row. It's crazy. He's super famous. So yeah. The two Bobbitty's pawns. I can't remember their names, but they still fight in the tournament. Gohan still meets Videl, so she gets destroyed by them as usual. Gohan gets angry. But actually, no. Gohan never fights in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Since he's never been a fighter, he's not that strong. He's just slightly stronger than a human would be because he's never trained a single day in his life in this timeline. So he's not at the tournament. But he still meets Videl. He's never the Great Saiyaman. So they just kind of become friends normally, Videl never becomes a superhero, basically, since Hercule, no one knows who Hercule Satan is in this timeline because he doesn't do anything, even less than usual. So they're just kind of friends in Orange Star High School. There's no Satan City. Instead, there's Bardock and Kakarot City. That's what it's called instead. Because Bardock and Kakarot are heroes because they destroyed King Piccolo years ago. So, yeah. And eventually, the pawns end up getting the power from Kakarot powering up because the Supreme Kai asked him to power up, and he stopped him from moving, so they got the power from him. But obviously Kakarot was enraged because he literally just got stabbed by some weird contraption, and he was frozen, just stuck there, and now he's super drained. So Kakarot and Bardock and Raditz immediately fly off to chase after them. They catch up by the time that they both reach Bobbity. Bobbity destroys them. He takes the power and he goes back to reactivate Majin Buu. Deborah is defeated more easily. He's just destroyed. He doesn't turn anyone into stone. He's just destroyed easily by a furious Kakarot who just wants to kill, who just drained him completely and stopped him from continuing the fight because he really wanted to beat his dad Bardock finally in this tournament, but he wasn't able to. So he's upset, and he goes down into their Bobbity's ship, and he defeats all of Bobbity's minions that were there. He defeats them all easily and quickly. He ends up getting to Bobbity early, and he just destroys Bobbity before he even gets the chance to revive Majin Buu. And so the Supreme Kai just takes Majin Buu's orb thing that he's sealed in, and he takes it back to the Supreme Kai's world. And that's basically where the Buu saga ends. And there's another time skip, obviously, to Dragon Ball Super. At this point, Kakarot and Bardock have learnt Super Saiyan 3, but Raditz is close, but he hasn't learned it yet. And that was the start of Dragon Ball Super. Gohan and Videl are married. They have Pan later. Pan's born, but Videl's pregnant with Pan now. Beerus comes, and he fights Kakarot and Bardock, and, well, two Super Saiyan 3s teaming up to battle a destroyer. I mean, they don't do that much, and he ends up defeating them without very much difficulty at all. He barely uses any power. He just defeats them with like 10% of his power or something. And so they do the Shenron summoning, and they ask about the Super Saiyan God ritual. And there are how many Saiyans now? There's Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, Broly. They need 6 Saiyans, so Gohan, who's not Gohan, his name isn't Gohan, so Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz, Broly, Gohan if he was called Gohan with a different name, and Videl reveals Pan, she's pregnant with Pan, and so they choose Bardock to become the Super Saiyan God this time. And so he becomes a Super Saiyan God, he battles Beerus, and it's the same sort of fight as when Goku in the canon timeline fought Beerus. It's the same, essentially the same. So Beerus doesn't destroy Earth because he likes the food, and he goes back. And Whis offers to train Bardock, Kakarot, and Raditz. Obviously, they all agree, and they go with Whis, and they train. Eventually, Kakarot, Bardock, and Raditz all know Super Saiyan God instead of just Bardock knowing it because of the training. And so after that, they do end up learning Super Saiyan Blue as usual, and then there's the Resurrection F arc. They resurrect Frieza, and they fight. They don't even give him a chance to blow up the Earth this time. Bardock just quickly destroys Frieza. And so they destroy Frieza, they destroyed his entire army as well. And now is the Universe Tournament arcs, basically. So, Universe 7, their team is Bardock, Kakarot, I'm out of time.